friends, Logan here with Dream Guitars, and I have an instrument here that I sincerely do not want to let go of. This is a 2023 DCH model from Gage Halland of Halland Guitars, and this thing pretty much steals the heart right out of my chest. I would rather play this guitar all day than do pretty much anything else. It's one of those instruments that just immediately grabs you, and you just lose track of time like that. Whew, it's really sweet. The back and sides are African Blackwood. The top is Swiss Moonspruce. Always happy to see that. We have a couple of creature comfort ergonomic features with a rib bevel and an arm bevel and a cutaway and a multi-scale setup, which is 26¼ to 25½ inches on this instrument. So it's a modified dreadnought. That's what the DCH body stands for, and it's a fairly big box, not too big. It's 15 7/8, give or take, across the lower bout, but it doesn't feel like a huge instrument. It's very comfortable to play off of either leg. It's a solid instrument. He builds pretty hefty guitars, Gage does, and the African Blackwood adds some mass, of course, as well. But still, for me, the instrument feels solid, and here in my hands, like it's like, okay, I've definitely got this thing right here. It's not going to float away. It just feels really solid. So yeah, let's get into it for a bit. So pretty. So we have Swiss Moonspruce on top, and in typical fashion, it's fairly understated aesthetics. We have great sense of curve here, but we don't have a lot of things, dressing it up, not a lot of inlays. We just have these, we have pearl for the rosette, and of course that dyed wood, which looks so good. Pretty sure it's dyed. Pinless bridge in the Greenfield tradition, because of course Gage Halland worked with Michael Greenfield for several years. But he adds these bevels here, which I do love. Very smooth for your hand. So there's also this arm bevel, which includes these lamb's tongue terminations, which is a frightening amount of work. So hats off again to Gage for pulling that off so fantastically. Man, that's not an easy thing to do. And then we come around to the sides, you can see that rib bevel, my personal favorite, again with those lamb's tongue terminations. So there's this extra series of curves there. It doesn't just come to a point. That is a lot of work. I can't stress that enough. So African Blackwood set, super dark, and then ditto for the back with a nice little bit of sapwood too. Man, that's really pretty. So in indirect light, you get a little bit of like rich brown, like chocolate brown coloration, but otherwise, like straight on, it looks, well, appropriately black, as a Blackwood should, right? So this is, again, one of my favorite tone woods of all time. You just can't go wrong. It tends to add this kind of a glassy roundness to the voice, which this guitar certainly has in spades. And yeah, coming up the neck, it's mahogany neck with a pretty comfortable profile. I like this neck. It's very smoothly curving across the whole length of it. It's not like a V or anything like that. Again, super clean. Like fit and finish is flawless on this guitar. Every detail perfectly executed. Goto 510 tuners, and here we go. Of course, the H there, the headstock for Halland guitars. Other things to note: multi-scale setup, like I said before, but we also have gold Evo frets on this, so the frets will be in great shape forever, basically. No fretwork will be required anytime soon. And Gage goes the extra mile, yet again, by profiling each fret end to be a semi-hemispherical fret end, which maximizes the real estate on top a bit, so you don't have that bevel that cuts back so much, and also just feels really smooth in hand. So in many ways, this is a very smooth instrument. It's just smooth on the ears, on the hands, just the whole shebang. The voice on this guitar really is just gorgeous. It's glassy, just so clean and smooth across all the registers, but each register is also really strong at the same time. There's just a lot going on, and it's all perfectly in harmony with itself. So, fantastic. The multi-scale setup is great for a wide range of tunings. So, you can go down into C territory, or you can leave it in standard, and this thing will handle just fine. So, if you want to learn more about Halland guitars, give us a shout. Cheers.